Now I want to talk to you a little bit more about sales and sales within your training gym. I think the word sales kind of gets a little bit of a grimy perception. It's kind of like used car salesman, like you're trying to trick people into a membership. Really, at the end of the day, for training gym, sales actually should be pretty easy. And there's a couple steps that going into maximizing your sales. The first thing is, I'm a big believer of you have to have some type of trial program. We always say to know us is to love us. So we really want people to be able to try out our services, experience the gym, experience the community before they sign up. I'm really not a big believer of trying to sign people up for a membership on day one because they haven't experienced what you have to offer. So you have to have some type of trial membership in place. We still obviously charge a decent amount for those trials because we want there to be buy-in, and we also want people to get used to the prices that we're charging. But within that trial, it could be a 10-day trial, 15, 21, 30-day. You can go as long as 6 weeks with the trial, whatever you're comfortable with, but there needs to be some trial program in place for people to be able to try you. And then if you have that trial program in place and you're doing a good job, then the sales process should be pretty easy because the people should be coming in, experiencing what you're doing, really enjoying it. And then from there, you get them to sign up for a regular membership. It should be pretty easy and pretty straightforward because we're not in the sales game of where we're trying to trick people into a membership or trick people into buying something that we're offering. We're trying to get them to buy something that they genuinely need and something they enjoy and something that's going to benefit their life. So all that stuff being said, sales should be pretty easy because we're putting people in a position to buy something that they really need and that they're really going to show them value in their lives. So another step with the sales process though is with any type of sales is you always have to be checking in with people and you have to build in different touch points. A lot of times people aren't ready to buy after the first or second exposure. Sometimes it's the 5th, 6th, 7th exposure. So whoever's in charge of your trial process and your sales process, you really need to make sure that they're checking in with that trial member several times a week, both in person, email, text. Just ask them how the workout's going, ask them if they have any questions, make sure they understand kind of all parts in your gym and how to really get indoctrinated into what you're doing. But there needs to be multiple touch points throughout the trial because a lot of times people aren't going to buy during that first or second. It's going to be the 5th, 6th, 7th exposure during the trial. And obviously making sure that they sign up for a membership before the end of the trial is huge as well. For whatever reason, we've seen in a lot of gyms that I consult with, people have a really good experience for the trial, be done with the trial, and then it's even if they had a good experience, it's really hard to get them to come back and sign up for a membership after the trial is done. So sometimes we will incentivize people to sign up for a membership before the trial is done. That's really the only time we'll give any type of discount or incentive to people is to get them to sign up for a membership before the trial is over. So sometimes we'll tell people that if they sign up for a 12-month membership before the end of their trial, we'll give them 50% off the first month. Obviously that's something that doesn't hurt us. We give them maybe $200 off their first month, but they're also signing up for a 12-month membership that's going to be $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for the year. So you can incentivize people to be able to sign up for the end before their trial is up, but you really have to make sure you have all those different touch points built in within the trial process so that you can get them locked in before. And then the last part of sales is just being able to make sure that you have the right person in position to do your sales process or those touch points. And a lot of times I'm a big fan of that being somebody that is a little bit older. A lot of times females can be a little bit better at that role than males too, because they're a little bit more nurturing, a little bit more authentic sometimes. But regardless, that position should be somebody that is a little bit older, a little bit more experienced, and kind of understands money. The last thing that you want to have in place is a 20, 21-year-old salesperson that doesn't understand money and is asking for a $300 to $400 a month sale, but that number scares them and they can't imagine having somebody spend that much money on a membership, and they just don't really understand the money and kind of where it's coming from with these clients and stuff. So you really need to have an experienced person in that position so that they're able to kind of maximize and understand what that client's going through and have no problem asking them for, a $300 to $400 a month investment in the membership. So those are several things that can help with the sales of your gym. And just a couple of numbers to match that real quick is when we have that trial process in place, we should be converting about 60% of those trial members to regular members. So let's say we have 10 people on a trial membership for a month. We should be at minimum be able to convert 6 of them into a regular membership. So our goal for kind of sales each month is to get minimum of at least 12 trials in for each month, and then sign up a minimum of 7 or 8 of those members each month, so that we're getting at least 7 or 8 new members in per month. And then on the retention side, like we talked about earlier, if we're only losing 2 or 3 members, that means we're net growth of about 4 to 5 members per month, which is going to be net growth of at least, $1,000 to $1,500 to our bottom line as far as reoccurring revenue goes. So we can go deep, into the numbers later in some of these video series, but with sales, make sure you have the right people in place, make sure you understand the numbers with that, make sure you have a trial process in place, and make sure you have all the touch points built in to be able to get that person locked in before they're in their trial. Again, if you have any questions with sales, or if I can be any help with that, feel free to reach out. I'm here to help you grow your gym and take it to the next level. Thanks.